The Warriors. Now, this was a crazy film. First of all, I watched it and it had adverts on it. The opening advert was the first one was for P Diddy. I think it was for a contest or sometime that P Diddy did. That was a crazy shock to do. They also had, of course, an aeroplane advert. The movie Airplane. They had one for like the fourth season, I think, of MacGyver. And then they also had one for the video game of this um, film, which was done by Rockstar. I found out later on. It throughout the whole film, I was just constantly thinking, like, holy shit, this is such a Rockstar video game that I definitely want to play it. Um, because it's set up so well for that, especially with all the different the gangs, because all of them dress up like they have a different uniforms and stuff, and it's so comical. Um, like there was even so like in the intro there was some unnamed ones. Like there was like the they almost looked like mimes. They had suspenders, like black striped polo shirts, and then like the pure white face paint. I wrote that they kind of looked at like Bioshock, We Happy Few. I was also talking to somebody more like uh Orange, Clockwork Orange, um, kind of feel to them. But there was some other goofy ones. There was the hillbilly ones with overalls, and the like leader had like rollerblades. Um, there were some real goofy ones. There was the all girl ones. Uh, that were wearing like, uh, they weren't only lesbian colors, but they definitely like mainly lesbian colored tie dye shirts, which was really funny. Um, there was the Karate Gang, which was the main gang, um, and then there was the baseball. What are they called? The baseball. Baseball like fiends. I think one called fiends. They were like the baseball batters, whatever they had. That one was a little bit thing because there was definitely some white people that had half black faces covered with shoe polish. Um, Now there was two of them in there. There was one with the black and purple, which was because you could see the hands of the guy, and the guy was darker skin tone. But the one with the red and black was clearly white, and so I don't know. That was kind of irksome, but it clearly isn't what they were trying to do. But I would feel remiss if I didn't mention it, um, and not go into it further because I'm white and not the person to talk about that. What I am the person to talk about is holy shit. One of the main cast members. It was one of the two fucking generic ass white boys with bowl cuts, in the Warriors gang, said the F slur like 3 times. 3 times. He ended up getting rounded up by a police officer in a sting operation. She was like sitting on the bench in late night. He's like, oh, I gotta have sex with her. And he got caught because she was a plant. Which holy shit, can I say, these men are like the basic plot of the film is like they have a meetup to meet the guy who's like, can you dig it? And then he gets shot, and the other gang pins it on the Warriors. The gang who actually shot him pins the shooting on the Warriors, and so they have to get back to Coney Island, um, by sunrise, while all the other gangs and the police are looking out for them. Um, but yeah, um, trying to think what else. Yeah, yeah. So what was I even saying? The F slurs. That guy gets caught trying to get back to Coney Island. Cyrus gets shot. Um, and they had to go to Coney Island. There was really cool shots with the DJ. The DJ, which I think they were just credited as DJ. I think it was the person who it was the girl you only saw her mouth with the red lipstick and the red background, and she's like, "Let me spin you another record here." Those were really cool shots. That were like really, I don't know, just artistically such cool cinematography. Also talking about cinematography, there was definitely either an invisible cut or a missing frame um, where they were on the plane station, the train station, and um, the leader of the warriors, the war chief, gets in a scuffle with the police officer. They roll over, and there was an invisible cut. Oh no, wait, that was the one where the guy, was it the one where the guy died? One of them died in the train station. Anyways, during one of the scene where they're rolling, there was definitely a frame missing or an invisible cut. Um, Probably an invisible cut. Who knows? Um, let's see. Okay, so I also wanted to talk about more on the movie was that I saw there was like a little interview with the director where he said that he based it off of the comic book, and I tried so hard to look for the comic book. The only comic book that I could see, released in like 2017, it was called Warriors Breakout. It was where they were breaking out of prison. There wasn't um a comic book before that, I think, and I think it was based off of a book. But it was just kind of weird. The director was saying it was based off a comic book when it was based off of a book. I also was really interesting. There's other things around this film, like the game. Apparently, Rockstar Games lost the music license for the game, so there was two songs in the movie that were licensed, and Rockstar apparently recreated the movie shot for shot on the game. And in re-releases of the game past the PS2, they lost the license to those songs. So the PS2 version, if you look online, is so expensive. It's like $60. That's a new game. Um, Another interesting thing that apparently Lin Manuel Miranda with some other person, I forget who it was made a musical, like made all the songs for a musical, and then now they're bringing it into the actual things for this. Of not only is it the Warriors, it's a gender swapped version of the Warriors, um, which is it's crazy, but I kind of want to see it, because I did really like the film. The film was really when I said okay. One other thing I found out in the film, the lighting was crazy. Like it was, um, like they tell you not to crank that saturation slider up, but they did it in a way that was like the blacks were fully blacks, like it was fully comic book formatted, and they had so like interesting blues and stuff. It was really cool. I will always say the lighting in this film was really on point. Um, and also a more than comic book thing, there was comic book transitions. So sometimes when they were going from scene to scene, they'd be like they pull out and be a comic book page and be like, meanwhile. So again, it was kind of weird not to find that comic book because the director said it was based off a comic book, and I couldn't find this thing anywhere. So who knows? Um, and Miranda musical, and I think that's it.